Hello friends, and welcome back to A Cozy Lifestyle with Clearissa Coward. Today's video is going to be all about the outdoors. You're going to be with me in what I like to call my treehouse. So this is where it began, and I did a video showing you how I refreshed and repotted all my plants, and this is where it is now. And I'm going to walk you around and share with you what is planted and show you how we're doing our outdoor living for the summer 2021. So come on in into my treehouse and let's have some fun.
But you're still drunk texting me when you're lonely. I don't know why you keep calling me on my phone. Thought I was clear. I'm not your friend. I'm not the only. You think I'm the same.
Hello friends. This is video number 2 for today. Thus, real talk, I did not change. I just wanted to get out here and share this with you. This is going to be my deck reveal, and this is actually going to be 2 stones, or killing 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will. I'm going to reveal my deck, but I'm also going to participate in the Container Gardener collaboration with Denise Jordan. More about that further down in the video. But here we go. I'm going to walk you around and show you how my deck turned out. I like it, and I hope you will as well. So come on in. Let's do some outdoor living. So friends, we have, Hubs actually did the work of putting it up, an outdoor gazebo attached to the deck. And it's so that we can actually enjoy it. Since the deck is not covered, we can sit out here with some shade and enjoy it. We also have a fan out here that really makes it comfortable because we can't hang a ceiling fan from the top of a gazebo. So we're doing the next best thing. What we do have hanging from the top of our gazebo is a lantern with lights. Now this lantern I picked up years ago from a thrift store, or junk store actually, that was sitting out beside the road, and it was rusted, and it's been orange, it's been yellow, and now it's blue to match this year's decor. And what I've done is taking some lights that I picked up from at home a couple of years ago. They're battery operated. Unfortunately, they are not remote controlled, so I'm gonna be looking for some that I can put out here. But when you turn it on, it's very bright and sunny. Today is a beautiful day, but let's see if you can even see them. And they're really pretty at night. You can see them a little. And from that, I have hanging a wind chime, and it has angels. And it's one of the softer ones, because since it's right up here with us, I have a couple in the yard as well, but since this one's so close, I put the soft one up here. And so that's what hangs over the table. And again, I'm going to be looking for some outdoor lights that are remote controlled to make that a little easier, although it's not difficult. But it would be nice to have some that I could just push a button. Okay, the table setting is simple. Those 2 vases back there in the back I picked up last year and painted them. I got those from Home Centric. And then my water container, we spray painted it the same color and set it in the middle of a yellow tray. And the candles on either side of citronellas, I keep them covered when we're not using them, because if they melt, at least they'll stay even. But being in the shade, they don't do too much melting, and they smell really nice when we're sitting outside. I also have some lemon balm around too, I'll get to in a minute, that helps with the mosquitoes. So the bar stools that I have for extra seating, I have one in this corner, one in that corner that match. I picked up from the flea market a few years ago actually, and spray painted them and then changed the seat cushions. And I've since changed the seat cushions again to match this navy blue. So it's an easy way to, and in an inexpensive way, to bring a little, I don't know, a little beauty on a budget, let's say. And if I can back up and you can see the table in its entirety, you'll see all 4 chairs have pillows. The 2 end head tables, seats at the heads of the table, have blue with yellow and lemons. And I could only find 2. And then the other 2 have just yellow pillows that I have wrapped ribbon around. And the ribbon has the lemon motif as well. And that's on both facing chairs. And also on the navy pillows that are in these 2 bar stools here. Now, if I go on the other side of the table here, so that you can see the other 2 corners, past the fan. Let's see. Here we go. I have 2 other bar stools for extra seating, and they too were bought at the flea market. I bought 2 sets because I wanted 4, and there weren't 4 of either, so I just bought 2 sets, sprayed them all the same color, changed the seat cushions to the same, and added the pillows, and so they look like they kind of go together. And I have 1 of those in each corner. Okay, and that's the gazebo. So if I stand over here, you get the long view. And it's really comfortable under here, especially when the fan is going in the evenings. And in each pot, as you'll see as I go around, let's start on this end. Well, a lot of the pots, you'll see that I have the solar lights. And so they come on at night as well. So for the portion of this video that's dedicated to the container gardening, in this first pot here I have a brand new hosta. It was a baby and she's doing so well, and look, she's blooming already. And I put these little spinners in to help keep the squirrels away. It doesn't always work, but I try because they really dig back here if you're not careful. Here I have a strawberry plant. I don't ever get a strawberry, but I love the look of the plant. And I don't get a strawberry because the blooms come, the strawberries come, and the squirrels eat them. So I'm feeding the squirrels my strawberries. And I don't really know what this is, but it is beautiful. When I first started doing this in my first video, and I was showing you me potting all these plants and repotting and refreshing, you saw that I gave this a haircut. And look guys, it's just going wild. It's beautiful, whatever it is. And I don't know, I don't remember. And the little thingy is gone. I have a fellow plant lover that I work with, and she's forever giving me plants. I can't take it anymore. I'm just like overflowing out here, but I love it when she does, and it's hard to say no because I love plants. And this one needs some water. And I'll go in a minute. She keeps giving them to me. It's like this. I don't know what this is, but it died back during the winter. It was coming back during the summer. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3 here. I'm not sure what they are, but we'll see if this one blooms. It's got a really thick stalk. And if you know what any of them are, please let me know in the comments below. I just like to see them grow. Okay. And everything back here does not bloom because even though it's very sunny now, we don't get a whole lot or a long term. Look at how this hosta is just blooming. And she was a baby. There's a light in her. This is lemon balm. I know what this is. All you gotta do is sniff. It smells so good. And I understand squirrels don't like lemon balm, so I've kind of placed it around. But they'll go around it and dig in another pot. But look how healthy and full that is. It stayed out all winter. For a couple of years it's been here and it just thrives. Okay, the one sitting next to it in the long green pot, we're trying our hand at a few vegetables as well. My husband had we were at the store and he decided, I'm going to try, and if they live, I'll put them in bigger pots or whatever. So this is not my baby, although I feed it. And make sure they're okay. Let me move back a little bit here. He actually claims these. So he has pickling cucumbers here, because I love to eat those. Those are my favorite. Regular cucumbers, the burpless hybrid. He has another burpless, and over here he has a cantaloupe. And look at how this stuff is growing in this pot. He's going to have to put it someplace very soon. I mean, they are thriving. Look at that. He wants a vegetable garden, and we live in a townhome, so there's not a lot of space. But we have space to put it in the yard. I think he's just afraid it won't grow. But this is doing so well. All of these are. I don't know if he can actually get the vegetables in this pot, but I guess we'll see. And so next to that is some more lemon balm, another huge pot of it. This was in a smaller pot. This is one of those pots I refreshed in my last video. And if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to that in the comments or description below. Over here, I have Wandering Dew. I'm sorry. And the thing of it is, this thing, when I bought it, she told me it would not come back. Well, I've had it for 4 years and it comes back. And not only does it come back, it jumps in pots, because when I go back, I'll show you, because yesterday I cleaned it up. My strawberry plant was full of it. So I pulled it out. But I did see this morning there's another piece in there, and it just thrives. And look at the pretty blooms. It's got pretty purple blooms on it. And it thrives. She said it was an annual, but apparently she sold me a perennial at an annual price. Behind that, we have our second bird feeder for the hummingbirds. So we need to turn it the other way so that we can see when they come, because they do drink from that one. Because it disappears. The food disappears. Okay, so that's this side of the deck. Okay, now, if I stand here, you'll see my glider. And this is what I needed 4 pillows for, but when I went to Walmart the other day, they only had 2. I only went to one Walmart, so I'll look. I could use a longer cushion as well, but very rarely does anyone actually sit there. They normally love to sit under the gazebo, but it's there. I was thinking about getting rid of it, but I love the look of it. And this little table here was just one of those little $5 tables. I showed it to you in a haul that I bought from 5 and Beyond, I think they're calling it now. And that little tray is one that I DIY'd. It says praise. And that just sits there so you can sit a drink if you're sitting on this side. And very rarely does anyone sit on this side. So normally I take the little table and sit it inside the gazebo out of the sun. Okay. And on this side, don't know what it's called, but Lord, it spreads. It's folded up though, because when we went home to take care of the arrangements for my mom, a squirrel got in and he just dug it up. So I had to fold some over, but it's a thriver, so it will continue spreading. And the forks I read in a blog, and then I saw it actually on YouTube as well, are supposed to deter the squirrels from digging. So I put a few in there. Let's see if it works. I've tried everything, the hot pepper, the squirrel repellent from the store. We'll see if this works. This sign here, welcome to the farm. I picked this up a couple of years ago from Hobby Lobby. And we only have one light fixture out here on this side. I'm thinking about having another added just for symmetry on the other side. And I have that sitting on this side of the slider and that one sitting on that side of the slider. And on the wall over here where the grill is, nothing will grow. I've tried it. I don't really like faux plants outside, but you know, you do what you have to do. So I put these in because these are against the brick and the brick gets hot, because my husband barbecues and I don't know, the smoke or whatever, nothing will grow here. So I decided to go faux just to have some greenery on this side. So that's what I've done, and I like it. I like it. So on this wall I have 2 angels. I hope you can see them. The sun is really, really bright this morning. And the second plant on the side of the door. They both have the lights in them. So if you're looking from the stairs, you see my star jasmine. I've had her for years. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have to do it soon, is take it out of this pot, give the roots a haircut, because I can't afford to put a larger pot on my deck. This is just the size of my deck, so it's going to have to live within those parameters. So I'm going to take it out of the pot, cut the roots back, put it in a new pot, because this one has been in there so long, it's splitting in the back. I have it tape, you know, a girl's best friend masking tape on the back of it to hold it together, but it's been living in there. So I think it'll be healthier if I give the roots a cut and then cut it back as well, and then maybe next year it'll just be short and full, because it has really taken up. It was a baby when I bought it. And it smells so good when you first walk out the door, that jasmine does. Next to it is one of my hostas that I'm just so proud of. They come back every year. I say every year I need to take those down and split them because they're getting so large in the pots. But it doesn't appear to stunt their growth, but I think I really, really need to do that because they're just huge. So that's one of them. And if I go down this side for my container gardening, let's see what we have here. So we're going to start here in this corner, and that's another hosta. And they're all blooming so pretty right now. If you can see the blooms on that. This is what you call a balloon plant. And just yesterday, my friend whom I was telling you about, who loves plants, she stopped by my house and she bought me this baby one. So I planted it as well. She says my baby one is going to bloom blue. And this one is sort of like a purplish white, a very pale, like a lavender, very pale purple. And it's a perennial. It comes back in this pot every year. I just come out, refresh, give it some new soil, and feed it in spring. I don't bother with them much in the winter. Maybe I'll do better this winter. And it's just doing just lovely. Look at all the blooms on it. Can you see all the little blooms, the little knots there and over here and just all over? So it's going to bloom really pretty. The thing about this one, this plant, you need to deadhead it once it blooms. And I can sometimes get a little lazy about that when it gets hot. This year I'm vowing to do better. So this is chocolate mint. And you talking about smelling good. Oh my goodness. And for a mint, you know, all you have to do is just pinch. If you pinch a couple of the leaves, the fragrance just comes up. And that chocolate mint is just, oh, it smells so good. I will admit I have all this mint out here because this is a spearmint, I believe, or is this? Nope, that's the oregano. I forget. I do have another mint somewhere. I thought I did anyway. To come out and use it when I'm cooking and that sort of thing. So below that I have the pink, what do you call these? Freesias. And they're doing well because they're kind of shaded by the hosta. I have a rose of Sharon that hasn't bloomed yet. I don't know if it doesn't like pot living or whatever. This is new. I bought this year. And it is, what's it called? A Biden? Yeah, I bought it from my nursery. It was really pretty there. And he said it was so unforgiving that if you miss watering it and it dried out, it would die and it wouldn't come back. But mine has, it certainly dried out while we were away. And it's come back, thank the Lord. Back there hiding, I had a pineapple and I rooted it and I planted it. And so this is it. It wasn't doing well because I didn't notice that the pot did not have holes in it. So we put holes in the pot and now it looks like it's trying to come back. And so let's see if I get a pineapple from that. I'm always curious. But anyway, that's a pineapple. So if you'll look through the gazebo, I have one knockout rose in that pot. And if you turn, I have a knockout rose in the other pot. And so that's what sits there. And in between sits another bird feeder for the hummingbirds. Love to watch them flutter. And so that's all that's potted here. Now I'm going to turn you around, trying not to make you dizzy. And I'm going to stand by the door and give you a look of the entire deck from, oh, that sun. I'm going to have to do it maybe from the other angle. Let's see if I can get it this way. It's just so sunny today. Okay. And then I'm going to take you downstairs. I should have done this yesterday. It was really cloudy out. Can you see? Okay. So we're going to walk down the stairs. And as you can see, as I'm coming down, I have another hosta that's blooming really pretty. Next to it on the shelf, that's a mum that I really need to cut back because it's starting to bloom and it doesn't need to bloom until fall. But I'm going to cut it back maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. underneath there, and I may need to move that because the hosta is shading it and it needs sun, is another knockout rose. And this year we were having trouble with something eating, and we don't usually have that problem. If you can see my leaves here, they have little holes in them. So we sprayed it last night with some insect repellent, and hopefully they'll leave it alone because there's new growth coming up and I didn't want it to be eaten as well. So it might be okay in this spot. Oh, there's a bloom right here. But I know that the hosta is shading it a bit, but that might be good for it. I don't know. I might switch them out and put the mum down there and put that up. I don't know what this is called. Again, if you do, please leave it in the comments below. I'm growing all kinds of things and I'm not sure what they are. I do know that it's a plant and not a weed because it was purchased. So it was sitting in the middle of the yard. But the problem of that was that it was the tendrils, is it tendrils, were hanging down into the dirt and catching it into the dirt, and I don't want this intruding all over the yard. I don't like a whole bunch of stuff down there because it just invites snakes and we don't want that. And so next to that is a running rose. I bought this rose a few years ago from Roses, and every time I say, okay, it's not doing anything, I'm going to throw it away, like this one here, but it's lit, it's alive. I've cut into it and it's alive. But look at the bottom. It's trying to grow, and I hate to throw anything away that's trying to live, that's trying so hard to live. So I moved it down here, and I'm just letting it do its thing. If you look on the branches, it's got new growth, and we sprayed it yesterday too. And it did bloom early in the spring. Now, will it bloom again like the knockouts? I don't know. We'll see, because I always threaten that I'm gonna toss it, and then I'll look and it's got some new stuff on it, and I feel bad. So we'll see how that goes. Now, coming on down, we had a beautiful bloom of azaleas this year, and that's what's up against the fence here. And we cut them back because we're thinking about getting rid of them because I'm a little tired of the all-natural backyard. I want some sod put down. So, and I want it to go from deck to fence. So I'm thinking that, as much as I hate it, of getting rid of the azaleas. They've been here, I don't know, 25 years because they were here before I moved here. We cut them back and they still thrive, but I think this time I'm going to let them go. Here I have some lemon something. This is something I read that would prevent snakes. So I rushed out to the nursery and bought 2 of them. And they are growing so pretty. I think it's lemongrass. That's what it is, lemongrass. And behind that one over there, peeking out, is a beautiful blooming hosta. Look at that. That has a different leaf. It's that wide leaf one. Look how pretty it's blooming. And as you can see, we don't have much of a yard, and I'm fine with that. But what I do have, I'd like to have it grass now. I was okay with the natural for a while, but I'm over it. I want some sod put down. This is another knockout rose that's doing well. It's got blooms again. It has already bloomed once this spring. Now this one is reacting like mine out front. How they bloom, I cut them back and then they bloom again. And that's how this one is reacting. So we'll see how the others do. The other 2 up on the deck up here, they're new this year. So we'll see how they do. And over here, lastly, but not least, I have another hosta bed. And I do hostas back here because there's sun right now, but there's going to be shade in a little bit. I wish I could have waited. I would have had the time to wait to do this video, but we have plans this afternoon. So this is the shed door. I do this wreath, and there's one on the fence as well, and I just used a garden hose. I saw this on Pinterest years ago, and just works well for outdoors to make your wreath out of a garden hose. And there's one on the fence as well. And those other 2 hangers are just pieces that I picked up at the flea market, spray painted them yellow and attached them to the fence. And so this is where my other 2 wind chimes are here. I love them. And I have a space for one more, either that or a hanging plant over there. Haven't decided which yet. And guys, that's my deck reveal for 2021. That is also my contribution to the container gardening. So guys, I wanted to pop in and just tell you a little bit about the collaboration. It is hosted by This and That with Denise Jordan and Lacey's Place. And they have asked us to plant in containers, flowers, herbs, or a combination, and to share that with you. And that's what I am doing, as well as giving you a reveal of my deck. I will leave a link to both Lacey's and Denise's channels in my description box below, as well as a playlist in the description box below. Please check out everyone's outdoor living space and their container gardening. Let's get in the shade while I finish up. It's hot. And you can still see the plants through the gazebo screen. Please check out everybody's container gardening video. If you're coming over here from Denise's channel or the channel of other collaborators, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And I hope that you'll decide to stick and stay by hitting that subscribe button below and hitting that bell so you'll be notified of all upcoming content. If you're one of my new subscribers, I want to say welcome and thank you so much for joining our little family. I see you, and I'm so glad you're here. And if you're one of my ride or dies, you already know how I feel about you. I love you, I love you, I love you with all my heart. And I'm so grateful that you're here as well. So guys, from my little tree house to your house, I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to leave you with lots of hugs and blessings. And I'm going to ask you to find something today that brings joy to your life. It could be gardening, as we did today, or whatever makes you happy. Find something today that brings joy into your life, and then do it just for you. Self-care is the best care. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to have joy. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. One other thing before I go, friends. Denise and Lacey asked us to tell you why we like playing in the dirt. But I'm going to leave you with the sounds of my outdoor area. And this is why I like being out here playing in the dirt. Just being in the soil and listening to these sounds just brings me joy. Take a listen.